10th. Today we are continuing with chapter 16, the non-aligned movement. So today's topics are formation and chief architects of NAM, major objectives or principles of NAM, role of the non-aligned movement in the world affairs, relevance or future of the non-aligned movement. We will discuss the following points. So the objectives of today's topic are the Bandung Conference 1955, objectives of NAM, NAM in the world affairs, relevance of the NAM. We will discuss some key terms. Number 1, colonialism means the act of one nation controlling another for economic gain. Number 2, imperialism means a policy of extending a country's power and influence through colonialization, use of military force, etc. Number 3, human rights means these are the basic rights and freedoms that belong to every person in the world from birth until death. Number 4, apartheid means discrimination on grounds of race. Formation and chief architects of NAM. The Bandung Conference 1955. The above causes and circumstances led to the calling of the Bandung Conference in 1955 and then to the foundation of the non-aligned movement in 1961. The 5 principles or the Panchsheel formed the basis of the Bandung Conference, which was called by President Sukarno of Indonesia in 1955. About 23 Asian and 6 African countries took part in it. The chief architects of NAM were Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of India, President Sukarno of Indonesia, President Nasser of Egypt, and Marshal Tito of Yugoslavia. These countries, after discussing their mutual problems, came to the conclusion that the Asian and African countries should keep aloof from the international complication and should settle their disputes in the true spirit of the Panchsheel or true principles of coexistence. The main purpose to call the Bandung Conference in 1955 was to promote economic and cultural cooperation and to oppose colonialism, and also further step towards the formation of the non-aligned movement. The main base of the Bandung Conference to discuss the 5 principles or the Panchsheel. It was called by President Sukarno of Indonesia in 1955. About 23 Asian and 6 African countries took part in this conference. In this conference, they discussed about their mutual problems and then they come to the conclusion that newly independent nations like Asia and Africa should keep aloof themselves from international complications and try to settle their disputes by following the 5 principles of mutual coexistence or Panchsheel. The chief architects of NAM, or we can say that the pioneers of NAM, were Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of India, President Sukarno of Indonesia, President Nasser of Egypt, and Marshal Tito of Yugoslavia. The ideas propounded, means presented at Bandung, were given a practical shape at Belgrade, Yugoslavia, at a meeting of Nehru, India, Nasser, Egypt, and Marshal Tito, Yugoslavia, in July 1956. In accordance with the decision taken at this informal meeting of the 3 great leaders, the first summit meeting of the non-aligned countries took place at the Belgrade in September 1961. Thus, the first summit of NAM was held in September 1961 at Belgrade in Yugoslavia. It was attended by 25 countries from Asia and Africa and 1 European country, Cyprus. The conference was attended by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru of India, President Joseph Broz Tito of Yugoslavia, and President Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt. The basic principle of the non-alignment was explained by Nehru. We propose as far as possible to keep away from power blocks or groups aligned against each other, which have led in the past towards war and which may again lead to disaster on an even vaster scale. We propose to keep on the closest terms of friendship with all countries. We shall be friends of America and intend cooperating with them. We intend also to cooperate fully with the Soviet Union. The decision taken at the Bandung Conference were given a final shape at Belgrade in 1956 when Jawaharlal Nehru met Marshal Tito of Yugoslavia and President Nasser of Egypt at Belgrade in 1956. Here it was decided to form an organization of the newly independent countries. Then, first summit meeting of the non-aligned countries took place at Belgrade in Yugoslavia in September 1961, in which 25 nations participated. This conference adopted a 27-point declaration. This conference was attended by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru of India, President Joseph Broz Tito of Yugoslavia, and President Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt. Several issues concerning world peace were discussed at the first NAM summit. The summit expressed the Several issues concerning world peace were discussed at the first NAM summit. The summit expressed the faith of NAM in the principle of peaceful coexistence and declared that imperialism was a threat to the world peace. It demanded immediate and total abolition of colonialism. It also called for complete disarmament. The basic principle of the non-alignment was explained by Nehru to keep aloof themselves from international complications, not aligned to any of the power blocs, but we should develop friendly relations with America and Soviet Union and also to fully cooperate them. Major objectives or principles of NAM. The main objectives of NAM at the beginning was to keep away the newly independent countries of Asia and Africa from the superpower rivalry and to protect and preserve their newly acquired independence. The other important objectives of the NAM are as follows. First, the new independent states should avoid alignment to preserve their independence because they are militarily weak. To keep the newly independent nations of Asia and Africa away from the rivalry of the two superpowers and preserve their newly acquired national independence. The newly emerged states do not like to be involved in foreign wars in which they have no interest. To eliminate all those factors and tendencies in the international arena that could lead to the war. Colonialism and imperialism have encouraged the spirit of exploitation, so every attempt is made by the non-aligned countries to end colonialism and imperialism. To preserve the independence of the newly decolonized nations in Asia and Africa through opposition of colonialism, imperialism, and racial discrimination and advocating sovereign equality. The non-aligned countries keep themselves away from power blocs so that they may do something to diffuse the tense atmosphere, and if there is any war, they may act as a mediators and prevent war and bring peace in the world. To aim for peaceful settlement of international disputes and promote friendly relations between countries and eliminate factors that may lead to war. The NAM is against the spirit of warfare, means conflict. It has full faith in cooperation and peaceful coexistence. NAM is against the spirit of conflict. It has full faith in cooperation. It eliminates all those causes which lead to the war. The non-aligned countries have firm faith in the principle of equality. They condemn racial discrimination, means discrimination on the basis of color, caste, race, as negation. Negation means opposition of humanity in South Africa. The non-aligned countries have firm faith in the principle of equality. The non-aligned movement is against all forms of racial discrimination. Most of the summits of NAM condemned the policy of racial segregation being practiced in South Africa and in the parts of the world. The non-aligned countries keep themselves away from the power blocs so as to receive economic and technical assistance from both the blocs. Most of the newly independent countries were facing problem of poverty and unemployment. To come out of this, they needed financial and technical assistance from both the power blocs. The non-aligned countries want to establish economic relations between the nations based on equality because they are essential for economic and social reconstruction at home. NAM has advocated new international economic order based on greater economic cooperation and justice because they are essential for economic and social reconstruction. The NAM is against the manufacture of dangerous weapons because they poison the whole atmosphere. The NAM favored disarmament and in particular opposed the possession and the use of nuclear weapons. The criteria of non-alignment determined as early as 1961 was that a country should not be a member of any of the military alliances. The non-aligned countries have full respect for human rights because they are necessary for the development of the individuals. The non-aligned countries are in favor of the development of the individuals, so they have full respect and protection of human rights and the environment. Role of the non-aligned movement in the world affairs. Since its inception means establishment or foundation, at its first summit in 1961, the non-aligned movement has widened its scope in the course of its progress. It began as a political movement against imperialism and racism of the Western countries. But after 17 fruitful summits, NAM has included more issues in its agenda. NAM has raised its voice against economic oppression, means repression, and called a new economic order. It has laid stress on disarmament, apartheid in South Africa, Palestinian problem, Iraq-Iran conflict, and problems in Central America. It has included terrorism in its agenda and even spoken against nuclear tests. Non-alignment has been pursued by more than half of the world for over 5 decades. The number of participating countries also increased each time from 25 in 1961 to 120 present. The Asian and African countries regularly attended the NAM summits. Some Latin American nations joined NAM, whereas some European countries like Austria, Finland, Sweden attended NAM summits as observers. NAM has a number of achievements to its credit. NAM has helped in easing of tension between the two power blocs and ultimately in bringing about the end of the Cold War. NAM has advocated new international economic order based on greater economic cooperation and justice. It has laid stress on disarmament, apartheid in South Africa, Iran-Iraq conflict and the problems in Central America. It also raised its voice against terrorism and nuclear tests. Relevance or future of the non-aligned movement. Many doubts were expressed in recent times about the relevance and future of the non-aligned movement. Some says that when the Cold War has ended and the chances of another war are very rare, there is no need of the non-aligned movement any longer. Some even say that when the United Nations organization is there to look after the complaints of different countries and to take all the measures for the maintenance of peace in the world, there is no longer any need of another world body like the non-aligned movement. Today, NAM stands for a broader objective of international peace as well as independence of foreign policy of each sovereign state. Though NAM has virtually lost its relevance, many doubts were expressed in recent times about the relevance and future of the non-aligned movement. Some says that now there is no need of the NAM when the Cold War has ended and the chances of another war are very rare. And some even says that if there is UNO, United Nations Organization, whose also aims to maintain peace in the world, then what is the need of non-aligned movement? But majority of the people do not adhere to the above view They hold the view that the non-aligned movement still has a great relevance of its own. They give the following arguments in support of their opinion. But NAM has a great relevance of its own. It continues to be an effective forum for seeking economic justice. The following are the arguments in this support. First, it is said that UNO is dominated mainly by five countries of the world: England, France, China, USA, and Russia, which have monopolized, means control, the UNO. They do whatever they like without caring for the sentiments of others. They veto anything in the Security Council which goes against their interest. In such a case, only the non aligned movement, where all countries have an equal say, can achieve something. Firstly, UNO is controlled by mainly five countries: England, France, China, USA, and Russia. These countries have their monopoly on UNO. If anything goes against their interest, they even veto in the Security Council. In this case, NAM is relevant where all the countries have equal rights to say. Second, it is said that it is only the NAM which truly represents the third world countries. It has done a great service in helping these countries to win their independence from the imperialist powers and then set their house in order with their true devotion and love and whatever little help they were able to afford. What solace? Solace means comfort. Could the UNO give them when many imperialist countries are its members and they still dominate this world body? Secondly, with the emergence of neocolonialism, NAM has become all the more relevant. Many small and weak countries are unable to preserve their sovereignty in economic field because of the interference of international financial institutions like World Bank, IMF, and WTO, which try to impose their decisions on them. This is a grave challenge to the process of democracy in these countries and for which NAM can come forward and counteract these moves. Third, these are certain apprehensions that since the United States has become the only superpower in the world, she can dictate terms to other countries of the world. The country still maintains its arsenal, means collection of weapons, of nuclear weapons, and again she has not dissolved the different military pacts, especially the NATO pact, the military bloc headed by her. As such, there is a danger of her domination over other countries. Under such circumstances, NAM assumes an all the more important role. The USA has emerged as the sole power in the world and has been dictating its own terms to other countries of the world. It's still collecting the nuclear weapons and also it has not dissolved the different military pacts, especially NATO. It is here that NAM could utilize its vast experience gained over the years to prevent the US domination. Hence, NAM still continues to be positive, dynamic, and constructive movement aimed at achieving universal peace, disarmament, and development. Fact file: Delegates of the non-aligned movement NAM states met at Belgrade in 2011 to mark the 50th anniversary of the first summit in Belgrade in 1961. On this occasion, it was said, "Today's meeting, 50 years after the founding assembly, is an indicator of the strength of our movement, and we are grateful to the founders, the historic leaders who led our movement." The first summit of the NAM took place in Belgrade in 1961, and in 2011 its Golden Jubilee was celebrated, and the delegates gave their gratitude towards the founders who led this movement. Thank you.